There we go.
Patrick clapped too late for that one.
I didn't clap late. I clapped right on time.
No, I could hear it on my computer. It came late.
Right, but that's why
Well,
we
it's
clap
probably
individually because
just a sound delay.
there's a time sync between. That's why I can't just say 3, 2, 1 record because it won't matter because it'll still be off.
Yeah. See.
The
But as
clap
long
gets
as we all,
point.
as long as we all have the clap down, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, welcome back to Even More Mashed Up. We are the Pop Culture Podcast coming to you vaguely from Misericordia University. Two professors talking all things, well, popular culture. My name's Alan.
And I'm Patrick, and this is the first episode of Season 4 of the podcast. Woohoo!
We don't have seasons.
Season 4! Woo!
We don't have seasons. No such thing.
That's what makes us unique in the podcast verse.
It doesn't, though.
Yes.
Lots of podcasts have seasons. We don't. The fact that we're not confined is what makes us interesting.
No, I like to think it's our personalities and our joie de vivre that makes us interesting.
What was that second word?
Joie de vivre. It was actually 3 words because it's French. It's joy of life. Joie de vivre.
Is that what it is?
Hashtag joie de vivre.
I don't think any of us are feeling that right now.
Hashtag season 4.
There's not a season.
So today we're talking about DC Fandome and all the news that came out of DC Fandome.
Why do they call it Fandome?
What is Fandome?
Oh, you didn't actually watch any of it, did you?
I did not watch any of it.
Yeah, so it was in a big virtual dome, and they had various fans from across the world introducing these segments. Thus, the Fandome.
Wait, how is it in a dome?
I'm waving my hands.
Yeah, what does that mean? It's in a dome.
Yeah. Explain.
Like they had a virtual dome projected. It was all like in a virtual like reality type thing.
Well, I understand that nobody was there.
So it had like
there,
a 3D. It had like a computer generated dome, and you would look up into the dome, and there'd be just videos.
Well, no, you would be in the dome with the people, but you would see. People standing around the dome.
So it's so it isn't a specifically like a dome where there's a half circle on top of you trapping you in. It's like an arena dome.
Yeah, what kind of a dome is a half circle trapping you in? Well, I don't even understand.
He's talking about like half of a sphere that's clear, yeah. Patrick.
Well, not even clear. I thought you like look up and it's like you go like to IMAX theaters and like you kind of look up and this giant screen above you kind of deal.
Yeah, no, you were watching this on your computer screen. It was not in theaters. You just watch it. You just live streamed it. So yeah, it was yeah.
Oh my god. We should just start over again.
No, that was quality stuff.
This is a complete disaster. Number one, we haven't even told anybody that Rich Art is here today.
Yeah, Rich is here, turning us into a disaster, and doesn't really understand the concept of domes.
This disembodied voice floating through the ether.
Did you say the ether?
It's
I'm just gonna let you two. I'm just gonna let you two hash it out here. You two hash it out, and I'll come back when you're done.
No, I just asked you. Did you say ether?
It's the electronic version of Thor.
I guess. So, all right. So you didn't watch any of the actual Fandome event, Alan?
I did not.
Okay. See, I watched, at least the first weekend, I ended up watching pretty much everything that I wanted to in the first day. Because basically it was like an 8-hour program. Why am I hearing myself echo?
Alan. Headphones.
What? Oh, the headphones are out of power today, sorry.
Oh, for God's sake.
What? Can't you just get regular, like, plug into a output, like, headphones instead of these Bluetooth ones that don't work?
Or earbuds?
Yeah, I guess I could.
Could.
I mean, it all depends on how much of the quality of the podcast you want to have.
Every single week. Every time we do this. I swear to God.
Consistently.
Always you with the headphones. You can't see, but I'm just shaking my head side to side
It's understandable.
in despair.
So you said it was an 8-hour thing, like so was
Well,
it
yeah, so
supposed to be
basically-
like a big like a marathon or like over 3 days kind of deal?
Well, it was over 24 hours, so it was 8 hours that looped 3 times.
Oh,
So
that's
like
weird.
it started, I think, like I don't remember if it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and then there was I think it was like so from 1 to 9, 9 to whatever, and then whatever to 1. So that way people could like pop in and out. But I actually ended up watching most of everything I wanted to see in the first 8 hours because I would watch what I want to see, and then there were some panels that I was like, I'm not really interested, and then I would come back for other stuff.
So did they? Because like, was it? Because I've known like a bunch of like expos and stuff. Obviously they can't have it actually happen, and they've done like virtual versions where
Yes.
they'll do like actual like people like kind of pretend to be like in panel and stuff. So they actually have like that sort of setup as well. Like, oh, here we are pretending to sort of answer questions from like about like whatever's coming out, almost as though they were at like oh my god, what's the
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con? Yeah.
Yeah. This is basically DC's replacement for Comic-Con. Alan, feel free to jump in anytime on the show.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still messing with his headphones and stuff.
No, for God's sake.
No, you guys are just having the conversation. I don't want to get in the way.
Well, I didn't know if you were still messing around with your headphones or whatnot.
No, I'm not.
No, he's just pouting now.
So was there anything good from the Fandome that was announced
Oh,
that was
there
worth
was-
watching it?
There was so much. Alan, where would you like to start?
Oh, wherever you want to start is good by me.
No, for God's sake. Where would you like to start, Alan?
I'm too sober for this.
Superman and Lois.
What? I don't have anything on that.
Oh, okay. Titans.
I mean, I can talk about that. I've never watched it. I saw a little bit of the panel.
Well, that's probably not a good idea then, because my notes say I got nothing.
Okay.
Because I've not
Did
watched
your note
Titans.
say I got nothing for Superman and Lois too?
No, I got stuff. I got stuff for that.
Okay.
So Harley Quinn is back.
What do you mean?
The show, right? They got season 3 or something renewed.
Yeah, that wasn't announced at Fandome. That was just announced yesterday.
But it is.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But it is
Sorry.
news, yes. I do have notes on it. I am very excited about that.
No, I withdraw remark then. Will Harley Quinn be renewed?
Yes, it was. For
Oh,
a third
good, 'cause
season to
I
appear
didn't
on
find
HBO
out.
Max.
Well, I didn't find out Fandome, so that's good to know.
Yeah, that's actually not a. I mean, they had a panel on Harley Quinn, but it wasn't actually announced there that it was renewed. It was just renewed. Or they announced was announced yesterday.
Understood. Totally understand.
I do really. I would have to say the HBO Max Harley Quinn is probably my second favorite Harley Quinn.
Well, that's excellent. So I'm glad that it's got a season 3 coming then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed the show. I've watched season 1 twice and watched season 2 in about 2 days. So they're only like half-hour episodes, so you can burn through them pretty quickly. But it's a really good show. I really enjoy it.
So I guess the question that you want asked is who's the number 1 Harley Quinn?
Oh, I mean, you could ask that, but I think you probably know the answer.
I'm going to assume the animated series.
Bingo!
Of course, it's the animated series.
Yeah,
Why is it
I mean they're
top
both very
people
close. I like both of them. So the original from Batman the animated series, and then Kaylee Cuoco's Harley Quinn on the HBO Max series. Like they're very very close. So
Excellent. Anything else on Harley Quinn? What makes it so good?
do you I don't know. It's funny. I would say this version of Harley Quinn is the closest to the original, without feeling like they're trying to mimic the original
Cool.
and falling short. So, but yeah, no, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about that. Now I don't know when it'll be coming, but until then, they're moving all of the DC Universe shows over to HBO Max, so I can watch the 2 seasons of Titans, Doom Patrol, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I had Doom Patrol earlier, but I had nothing on Doom Patrol either, so I skipped over them after you had nothing on Titans.
Yeah. Doom. I haven't watched Doom Patrol. I know season 3 was announced at Fandome, but I haven't watched it yet. So, all right. This is really riveting stuff. Where else do you want to go to, Alan?
Well, I had Stargirl next. I think I have all this new content stuff that's coming, but you don't seem to have paid much attention to that, so we could move somewhere else.
Well, it seems like you're looking at everything you're mentioning was from the second phase of Fandome, which I actually did not have a chance to watch. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
Was
Stargirl's
that on
apparently
the
coming back,
tail
but
end?
Yeah, I knew Stargirl was coming back.
Coming back
okay.
how, though?
I missed that.
I mean, the first season was okay.
That's about the CW level.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I do have to say that some of the fight scenes and special effects, even for someone like me that's not, Bobby, seemed really not great.
Yeah, they're kind of phoning it in now, I think, on the CW.
So I would imagine that Bobby probably would have lots to say about the filmmaking. And just generally the fact that it's called Stargirl, but by about the third episode, we were sort of gathering like a new junior version of the JSA. Like, it's Stargirl and, the original Hourman's son and a new Wildcat and a new Dr. Midnight. It was just kind of strange that like, for Stargirl's show, it already became a very large kind of ensemble.
That's what they do. I always loved Wildcat, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do, but usually, I thought she would get, like, at least a season before we started bringing in, like, new characters. But, like, the third or fourth episode, she's like, I need a new JSA, and starts recruiting from her high school friends. So, that was kind of, it seemed to move very quickly for that, so.
Well, that's where you would look for the next JSA, I guess, is your high school friends.
Yeah. So, cool. All right, Stargirl. What else you got?
I am told that Legends will bring a lot of joy this year.
Really?
That's what it said on the website.
Okay. I've stopped watching Legends, so.
I quit watching Legends a long time ago. So I assumed Bebo was coming back, but then apparently I looked around and he's not.
No, apparently they're dealing with aliens next year.
I did read that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't, and they're bringing some kind of alien expert onto the show, but I know nothing.
Alien expert?
Yeah. Some guy named Spooner. I don't know. Again, nothing to bring me back to the show.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much going on there.
Yeah.
Did you know that Flash
Should we talk about some of the bigger announcements? Oh, did you want to talk Flash?
No, go ahead. We can come back.
Well, I was going to say, like, we haven't talked about any of, like, the big news, which was the second Wonder Woman trailer.
Yep.
So do you want to talk about Wonder Woman 1984?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about other big news.
That is the big news. That was one of the big first day events.
Oh, and I thought you were going to list other big newses. Sorry.
I was going to, but then it just, we could just do them as we talk about them.
Okay. Well, for me, Wonder Woman gave me kind of flashback to Cats, which makes me somewhat suspicious of it as a film now.
Oh, really? I thought I was pleasantly surprised by how Cheetah looked.
I thought she looked kind of catsy. I've never been a big Cheetah fan, though, so...
Yeah, but Wonder Woman doesn't really have a deep bench of villains you can use. There's Ares, there's Cersei, and there's Cheetah, and then you're kind of done.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, I guess. We've talked about that before, about Wonder Woman, but interesting that she doesn't really have anybody to...
Yeah. I will say one of the things that I didn't like about the trailers, there's one shot where you see Kristen Wiig's Cheetah, like, just jumping through Wonder Woman's bracelet smashing maneuver.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like it either should have been a bigger moment in the trailer or, should have been saved for the actual film. I don't know, it just felt like that's... Given that we've never seen anyone kind of break through the the smashing of the bracelets. To kind of just have that spoiled in the trailer seemed kind of weird to me.
I didn't even notice that. I got to be honest with you.
I did.
I kind of get what you're saying,
I
though.
noticed things.
Like, it seems to be a big reveal that either, like you said, should have been...
Yeah.
Actually, probably Sato,
Now, in the actual panel, one of the things that was interesting, because they had a little, or before they showed the trailer, they had like a little intro by Patty Jenkins, who basically said that they have no intention of releasing this on demand prior to its being in theaters. That their intention and preference was always for it to be seen on screen. So I don't think it's going to be one that gets released to like HBO Max before it's in theaters.
But that sort of makes sense, I think.
So, did you like we got to see more of the Steve Trevor adjusting to the 80s stuff?
I did like his parachute pants joke.
Really? I thought there was something else you would like in that scene.
Oh, the fanny pack?
Yeah, see, I thought for sure you would mention the fanny pack.
No, it wasn't in my notes. I just said I liked the parachute pants joke. Because parachute pants were a thing.
They were.
Yeah.
Again, I think I will enjoy the film on the level of its representation of the 80s.
It feels like it's made for you in that way.
It is. Well, I mean, it's Wonder Woman. It's set in the 80s. I do have a soupçon of 80s nostalgia in me.
If soupçon means a crap ton, I agree.
No, it means like little bit. So,
but
I meant
even
that
the French all of
ironically,
a
of course.
sudden.
I don't know why I'm feeling Frenchy today.
Just pulling out the French left and right.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, giving the show sort of, in season 4, we want to start courting that international audience. So I'm appealing to French listeners. Though, probably hearing me speak French is decidedly unappealing to them.
Possibly.
Probably.
We should do a show on Pepe Le Pew.
Probably not.
Just a whole hour-long show.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to work.
No, never mind then.
Yeah, I'm not sure Pepe Le Pew is as enough of a podcast topic.
I'm just trying to find something that would appeal in France.
Yeah, I'm not sure he appeals in France. So, other thoughts that you have about Wonder Woman 1984?
Well, there was a lot of Steve Trevor, but we've already talked a lot about Steve Trevor, so I don't know there's much more to do.
Yeah, I do enjoy his sort of, being out of depth in the modern world sort of storyline.
I guess
so are you still looking forward to both of to the film?
I am, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Alan just doesn't like Steve Trevor. Other than that,
which is understandable. He's unlikable.
I don't know that he's unlikable.
Or I was very much happy when he died in the first one.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he's just like a figment of Wonder Woman's
the whole thing's a dream, or it's like Fight Club.
Well, no, there's the whole thing in the trailer of Max Lord talking about how he can give anyone what they wish, and then they show Steve Trevor showing up. So they're at least setting up this idea that whatever Max Lord is doing or saying about bringing people's fondest wish
at the end of the film, it's going to cut back and just show Wonder Woman talking to herself for like 90%.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure how it'll work. So, but yeah, but I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Alan, any other thoughts on?
That kind of exhausts. I don't know. Like the trailer, I thought was fine, and I liked the first one, so I guess I'll go see the second one.
Assuming we're ever allowed to go see movies again.
Good point.
Well, there is that. Yep.
I do like, as you said, we're definitely not going to do direct. It's going to be in theater. And it's like, man, I hope we go back to theaters at some point. Or we may never see this.
I think I just got a phone call in Discord.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't know. I got a phone call on my computer and from GH. I don't know who that is, but I don't have my phone connected to the computer, so I'm not sure.
Using technology with you two is always a fun adventure.
I don't know what happened there. Yeah. It's okay, I hung up.
That's good. Oh, good. You didn't answer it on the while recording.
Yeah, no, I had no idea who it is. Maybe it was a fan. Oh man.
They just know that we're recording right now and they called in.
I guess. Does Discord have call-in technology?
No,
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point.
it does
Okay.
not.
All right, then I have no clue how that worked. I don't know anyone by the initials of GH either. So.
Interesting.
So.
We saw the first Batman. I was looking through some of the stuff.
Gary.
Oh, the trailer for the Batman?
With Mr. Pattinson.
Yes. I suppose we could talk about that.
Isn't this the Batman that was supposed to have Ben Affleck in it?
Yes. I think originally Ben Affleck was attached to it originally. Yeah.
Yeah, and like then he
and then he retired from the role.
And I forget if he'd given a specific reason, if it was like writing or whatnot, but
I can't remember what it was. I mean, they're going with a whole younger Batman vibe, like an early days Batman. So Affleck doesn't really make sense for that.
Yeah, but I mean, they probably changed it after he left. I doubt he left because like we need you to be younger. It's like get on that plastic surgery.
Yeah. So Alan, thoughts about the Batman trailer?
I found it kind of the least interesting thing that I watched, actually. I have a hard time wanting to do it again. Like, haven't we just literally done all of it before? The grit, the city. Hey, there's a car, the Catwoman. I don't know. It's just like,
and
I understand that DC feels like they can't trust their deeper roster of heroes beyond like Suicide Squad, maybe, but just their insistence upon doing Batman after Batman after Batman. I'm just kind of burned out on him, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and early days Batman after Batman after Batman.
Yeah, and it's always the same kind of story.
Kind of get the origin.
Like, I don't know from the trailer, but it looks like it's a Joker as well.
No, there's Riddler and Penguin.
Oh, okay, because I saw a lot of the stuff, like the face, like, with the words on it. I just immediately think of the Joker whenever I see that stuff.
He does fight a gang of people that are in, like, clown makeup at one point, or, like, mime makeup, so there's clearly somewhat of a Joker vibe there, but...
Will there ever be a Batman movie without the Joker somehow in it?
Well, I mean, he wasn't in the second, third, and fourth of the Burton era.
Yes,
he was only in the first one.
Yeah, that's true. But those also
they killed him in the first one, so...
Yeah, okay. It just, I kind of agree with Alan that, like, especially with DC now, like, every time it's a Batman movie, it seems like it's almost the exact same story. It's the same idea of either it's Batman becoming Batman and his parents have to die again, or it's him fighting some villain that knows his every move and causes him to have to be like, I need to kill people, or I can't kill people. Like, it's always the same kind of questions in the story for the character.
There's only so much you can do with a Batman origin film.
And we seem to have a lot of those.
We do, yeah. So it's interesting that because that was the final panel on the first day. That was kind of the big reveal of the first Fandome day. So it's kind of interesting that was the most underwhelming part for Alan.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they thought like it was going to be good, or the most overwhelming part of it.
Alan, you were about to say something, I think.
Yep, sorry.
No, it's okay. I think that, like, Pattinson is a very good actor, and it's not like there's not potential to it, but I just can't find enthusiasm to do it again.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're really excited about, Alan.
What's that?
Oh, come on. It's got to be Aquaman 2.
Is that announced?
Oh, I mean, they've already said they're doing it, but yeah, they had now. I think this will get you excited, Alan, because according to James Wan, the director, Aquaman 2 will be, quote, more serious and more relevant.
Yeah, you just took my notes from me. That's the only note I had on the film, except for something about Dolph Lundgren on a teeter-totter. Like, that's all I got.
Yeah, all I've got is I literally only have more serious and more relevant in my notes.
Well, I'm
starting to think we went to the same article summarizing all the news.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with Dolph Lundgren and the idea. I mean,
Was
any
that just a
film.
comparison? He's not actually in it, is he?
I don't know. Director. They had a friendly chat about their $1 million plus blockbuster Aquaman, mostly on the topic of seeing Dolph Lundgren bounce up and down on a teeter totter. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I don't either. Someone, well, no, because he wasn't, no, it wasn't Dolph Lundgren that played the lead in Flash Gordon, so. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
But yeah, that's all I got
no,
for Aquaman. They did announce
yeah.
the title of the Shazam movie. Did you have notes on that?
Gosh, did I? Oh yeah, no, I did, but oh, maybe I didn't write it down. What is it?
It's Shazam Fury of the Gods.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, which talking about Shazam leads into another obvious topic.
It does, which was a really weird trailer.
Yeah, it wasn't really a trailer so much as like a kind of a sketch or like a pitch almost.
Yeah,
We're
it
of
was
course
very,
talking about the Black Adam movie.
which was
Ah.
really just like a cartoon.
Yeah, I find it a very weird choice of film.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, number one, Black Adam is not the most compelling of characters, but in the comics, Black Adam has to be one of the most severely uncharismatic characters, and yet they've got The Rock in the role,
Well, maybe
who
that's the
mainly
hope.
makes films work because of his charisma.
Maybe that's the hope. Is like, hey, he'll this character's uncharismatic, but we give it to The Rock. It doesn't matter. He'll make it work.
Yeah, but the whole thing with Black Adam is that he's supposed to be sort of a tragically motivated killer by or well, I mean he's basically a villain because of the death of his family. He's not supposed to be the jokey kind of character that Dwayne Johnson usually plays. So I find it a really it's not a character that like Dwayne Johnson's strengths as an actor really play to. So they're either completely changing the character
Probably.
or I don't know.
Maybe he's going to be a serious actor now.
I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I
And
don't see
I'm
Black
sure he
Adam as
can
the
be a
kind of
serious
character he
actor.
plays.
Like, I'm
So,
sure he's capable of doing that. But I get what you're saying. That like that's not what he does a lot.
yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's not what people generally go to his movies to see. So,
Mhm.
I'll just be curious. It just seems like an odd. It's a place where I'm like, I don't really know that he. I mean, physically he matches the character. I don't know in terms of personality if he does.
Just trying to capture the Marvel magic of casting people that you think can't work and making it work.
Yeah,
How
I'm
many
not sure
movies are they
DC
going to
has
do
really
before?
had that magic.
Yeah. How many movies are they going to have to do before that magic catches on?
Well, and then the other big news out of the Black Adam movie was, of course, the JSA.
Right. That Hawkman and Dr. Fate and Cyclone and Atom Smasher would be showing up.
Yes.
I loved Hawkman as a kid, but beyond that, like, I don't. Is that exciting?
Well, I know exciting. I know who it's exciting for one person.
Well, I know Dr. Fate excites some people, but
No, no, no. I was saying it's exciting for Jeff Johns since he created Cyclone, so he's going to be getting some sweet, sweet royalty money.
I don't even really know Cyclone.
Yeah, she was in the Justice Society series that he did. Basically, taking over kind of the Red Tornado role,
Ah,
like the original Red Tornado, the Ma Hunkel that was in the used the pot as her
yeah, I
mask.
remember.
So
Yep, yep.
yeah, so basically, I think she might. I can't remember if she's a descendant of that, but yeah, but it's it's very much a Jeff Johns team because I mean he very much wrote kind of the storyline involving Black Adam and Hawkman and Doctor Fate, though it was much more of a Hawkman story than a Black Adam story. But it's clearly very much based on Jeff Johns' comics. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean Hawkman's one of those characters that seems really cool and yet never really lives up to that.
that's fair. That's fair.
So, and yeah, I mean, calling these heroes the JSA when, there's not really, that's not really established in the DC movie universe. So the fact that these characters are carrying on the JSA legacy I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a lot to set up. So
There's a lot packed in there for sure.
yeah. So, but yeah, just
I found. Go ahead.
sorry. You found what?
No, I said go ahead. I'll follow you.
No, I didn't have anything.
But you were talking.
No, I stopped when you said I found.
No, but you were starting to say something when I started to say that.
No, I stopped right as you started talking. So you go ahead.
Well, I know, but you must have had something to say because you were talking.
No.
So you were talking without anything to say? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Huh?
That was me just sort of trailing off.
Oh, okay. All right. I just found The Rock's voiceover very uninspired. He like talk about phoning it in.
Yeah.
He sounded bored with the material already.
Yeah. Though he's apparently really excited about this. He's been lobbying to play Black Adam for a while. So
Maybe he's disappointed now that he's like, at that point. He's like, oh, this is what we're gonna do with it.
I don't know. So I mean, I'll go see it, assuming we can see theaters. I can see movies in theaters.
Either one, really.
Yeah.
Well, I got nothing more on that unless you do.
No, I got nothing else.
All right. Well, there was other stuff, right, to talk about.
Yes.
We haven't talked about Suicide Squad yet.
No, we have not. You're talking about the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah. The video game we could leave to last, maybe, or
Possibly.
we could do them both.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts on the Suicide Squad? Not really a trailer, but a sneak peek.
I'm really interested to see what Gunn can do with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I just feel like the last one was so bad. It was one of the worst superhero movies that have been made.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I gotta say, Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the idea of a 70s war film mashed up with Gunn's sense of humor, I find kind of intriguing, although the characters I don't find particularly intriguing.
No, I don't find the characters particularly intriguing at all, and I don't think it's actually going to be set in the 70s.
No, but they said it would have the style of a 70s war film.
Yeah, yeah, but like you, I'm very kind of meh on most of the cast.
Well, the cast doesn't interest me. James Gunn interests me.
He does. I'm a little bit concerned though because I mean there are outside of the characters that are carrying over from the previous Suicide Squad movie. I think there's something like 13 characters to introduce.
Well, I think some of them are not going
Yeah,
to be.
13.
Some will not be around long enough to probably
Yeah, I'm
merit much
just worried it's
introduction.
going to have the same problem that the first one had, which was that it had so much ground to cover that it just kind of, it really couldn't do much with
Look,
the storyline. There was just too much packed in.
if Gunn weren't directing it, I would have no interest in it whatsoever. But given what he did with Guardians, I'm kind of intrigued, I have to say, about what he might do with
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my issue is that he only had 5 characters to introduce in Guardians.
Yeah,
He's got a lot more to do here, so
well,
I'm
all fair, but I remain intrigued because it got me thinking, what if this is really good? Like, what if it's like Guardians of the Galaxy good? Just
mm-hmm,
hypothetically.
mm-hmm.
What has ever come before where the sequel is so much better than the one that came before it?
Oh, well, I was going to say Empire Strikes Back before you said so much better, because, it's not like Star Wars was bad.
Right. No, that's my
Yeah,
question
I'm
for
trying to
you.
think
And
what was.
I did a lot of work on what people say are the sequels that show the greatest leap forward in terms of quality. So,
Okay.
and Empire Strikes Back was one of them that was on Collider.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that that was such a. I mean, Star Wars was pretty good to start with, so.
Right. But
I wouldn't see that as one where like the sequel is so much better. It's a yeah. So
Right. So if Suicide Squad goes from Suicide Squad 1 to Guardians of the Galaxy, that would be a much more substantial
oh
jump in
yeah,
quality.
yes.
All right, you want me to run some others by you, or do you want to suggest some to me?
No, you go ahead and run. Yeah, I'm not. I'm trying to think of other sequels that have been. Was Blade 2 on there?
Blade 2 did not make any list that I saw.
Okay, because I know I remember people saying Blade 2 being better than Blade 1.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I know you probably wouldn't agree with this, but was Winter Soldier on there over the first Cap?
It was on one of the lists, which I found
Yeah.
to be ridiculous. Which is not to say that
Yeah.
Winter Soldier wasn't really, really great. That's peak Marvel
Right.
filmmaking. But the first
Yeah. No.
Cap film
Your
is
objection is that the idea that the first Cap film, is not that good.
the first Cap film is not nearly the basement level that Suicide Squad was.
Yes.
Like it's not even
Correct.
close. If
No, it's not even
Suicide
close.
if Suicide
No, every
Squad
time I
2 is as
see
good as Cap,
the
I'd be happy.
yeah, no. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. I don't know if they count, but would Thor Ragnarok be on the list?
I mean,
Thor
that should
did
be.
make it. Well, and but
Okay.
like even if you consider it a sequel to The Dark World, it's even better in terms of the gain it makes, I suppose, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I
that's
just wasn't
insane.
sure
It
if
seems
they
like
were
a
thinking
perfect
about,
example.
just like first to second film or just to any sequel. So.
No, these are like any film that follows the previous, really, is what
Oh,
they've
well, then
done
of
here.
course Age of Ultron had to be on that list.
It did not make the list.
Uh, did Infinity War or Endgame?
No. There are
Oh,
no
okay.
there are no more Avengers on the list. This is from Time and Collider. So
Oh,
two
okay.
different lists.
Hmm.
But there are more superheroes on the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, Superman 2?
No, surprisingly not on the
Okay.
list. But like Superman,
Uh,
again, the
uh,
original is seen as a pretty good film.
I know it is. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like there are. I mean, are they counting Wonder Woman as a sequel to something?
No.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, X-Men 2.
Not on the list, but could, although again, like the original X-Men is held in decent esteem still.
Kind of surprising. Yeah. Were any of the X-Men? Were any of the other X-Men's on there?
No, but there was an X-Men character.
Oh, Logan. Logan's
Yes,
got to be on there.
like Wolverine to Logan. That seems like a
Yeah.
reasonable,
Oh,
a
oh yeah.
reasonable.
Well, yeah. Well, even Wolverine and Wolverine Origins to Logan.
Right. Well,
Those are.
there's still another one, a hero that we've already talked about today, who's given credit on both Time and Collider for
Oh,
having
now
a huge jump forward.
was it Dark Knight over Batman Begins?
It is The Dark Knight over Batman Begins.
Okay. I mean, that's I don't I think Batman Begins is a pretty good film. So
I do. I mean, I think there's a bigger gap there than some that we've talked about, although not really. Wolverine Origins to Logan is a big
that's the
swing.
thing. Yeah, that gap's not as big as some of the other ones. So
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, or the Thor. Real quickly,
yeah,
some other
yeah.
ones, if you're interested. Paddington.
I've not seen any of the Paddington movies. So
I have not either, but Paddington made the list.
okay, okay.
Mad Max Fury Road made the list.
Oh yeah, I hadn't really thought of that as a sequel because it's so far apart.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was
Right.
really good.
Which film would it be a sequel to?
Well,
To
it'd
the
be
first
whatever
Mad
one.
Max?
I don't think so. It'd have to be the most recently made one, right?
But
So it'd be
Although-
like almost the fourth film in the series? I mean, I guess it's still a sequel, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I'd agree with that. That was a really good movie.
it was a great movie. So then Dawn of
Yeah.
the Planet of the Apes also made it. Wait, which one is
Like
Dawn?
of the recent trilogy or the original trilogy?
I think the most recent one.
The most recent one was Dawn of the original doesn't have a Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, does it?
I don't think
Oh,
it
I don't
does.
remember.
'Cause it's Planet, it's Return,
And then there's the one
Conquest, Battle.
there's the one
Yeah.
the one where they live underground.
Yeah, that's the second one, I think.
Yeah. Then there's one. Isn't there one with like time travel in it?
Well,
Well,
no, there's the one
yes.
where the apes travel to Earth.
Yeah.
There. That's it.
That's
Yep.
the
All right.
third one. Because the fourth one is when they actually rise up. It shows them rising up
So
with
which one of
Caesar.
Dawn? So Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is in the new one. Is that the most recent one?
No, you know what? I'm thinking Dawn might be the first of the trilogy because that means it came out after the Tim Burton one, which everyone hates.
Well, the Tim Burton one was
What was the
awful.
Tim
Might
Burton
have had
one?
the
His
worst
remake of
ending.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh
It might
yeah.
the worst ending I've ever seen in a film. I think
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah,
the
so I wonder,
ending.
because, yeah, Dawn,
Hang on.
We can
yeah,
look
I
it up,
think
right?
Dawn might have
Yeah,
been
I'm
the
googling
first
it
one.
now. Let's see. Original reboot. Rise Dawn was the second one of the modern one.
Okay. Okay.
Because it was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn, and then War.
Okay. Okay.
No.
That's not,
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't have thought Dawn was that much better than Rise. Interesting.
right. I would agree with that.
I mean, I think
They seem
Rise
a
just had a
bit-
bunch of stupid stuff in it where like they had to explain how the disease happened or whatever, so people had to act like idiots.
I guess. I mean, Rise isn't bad. It's just that they both seem about the same and are perfectly decent films, but neither jumps
Exactly.
out to me as like great. Yeah, that I'm not. I don't see as big of an increase there.
So there's not a lot of
Yeah.
So there's a couple others. How to Train Your Dragon. I'm assuming you've not seen that.
Oh, I've not seen that. No,
That was pretty good.
There
I've heard
was
good things about it.
some talk about
Yeah.
the Fast and the Furious series.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all great if you just sort of let go of like reality and stuff.
Yeah. How about Toy Story? The most recent Toy
Oh,
Story.
I should have thought, but
I actually haven't seen it.
again, I mean, I remember when Toy Story 2 came out, everyone was like, that was surprisingly better than the first. But again, you're not starting from that low start.
We're talking
no,
about
the
Suicide
fourth one
Squad.
was the best. Like the fourth one, everyone freaked out over how good it was. Or the third.
No,
Well, people are like-
everyone
Back in
thought
the
the
day.
second one was better than the first. Everyone thought the third was better than the second. The fourth didn't quite live up to that.
I
I
thought I always
recall
heard that.
correctly.
I heard it was like the opposite. The fourth was better than the third.
I found the fourth very
No.
unfulfilling.
Yeah, the fourth was fine, but it did not. It did, yeah. But I do remember when Toy Story 2 came out, that it led to lots of other articles about like, are there any other sequels that have been better than the first film? So I know Toy Story 2, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought 3 was at least as good as 2.
Yeah.
But again,
So
you're not
two-
starting. I mean, Toy Story 1 was good, so I don't think you're starting out from that big of a gap.
So I got two more for you, and then we can move on to something else. Hellboy 2.
Oh, no.
Okay, and then Terminator
Kind of
2.
thought so.
Oh, yeah, I should have thought of that. Everyone likes Terminator 2 better than the original Terminator. But again,
Yeah,
the
but-
original Terminator's not bad.
No,
Well,
it's
almost
a
like different
classic
films.
classic
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger 80s film, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like,
wonder how much of it is that the original Terminator looks better after Terminator 2.
maybe. I grew up
Yeah.
on those Schwarzenegger films, so none of them seem Suicide Squad bad to me.
no.
Yeah, no, I would not say Terminator is nowhere near Suicide Squad bad.
Plus, Terminator
I don't
had
think
Richard
anything
Dawson. So,
No.
how do you
Meh.
go wrong with that? So, it seems like, based on our conversation, if James Gunn can make Suicide Squad into a Guardians level film, he may be on to the one of the greatest jumps in sequel history.
I gotta say, if he even makes a competent Suicide Squad film, he might be one of the greatest remakes.
Ouch.
Because that first one is bad.
Well,
the bar is very
it
low
gives him
for
a
him to
head
improve
start in
upon
this
it.
competition.
It does. He definitely has the potential to possibly eclipse. So he has the potential to be his has the potential to be a Logan to the original Suicide Squad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of
in
leap
terms
he
of
might
leap, like
Yep.
Yeah, because he's basically working from a Wolverine Origins sort of level.
Right. Yeah. Maybe even a little bit worse.
Yeah, they're about the same for me. They're both just really bad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad
Uh,
was super bad though. It was just it had
it was, but yeah, Wolverine Origins is Suicide Squad level bad.
and Gunn says you've never seen a superhero film like this, which I'm somewhat skeptical of.
Well, I think it's because he's got way too many characters. It's obvious that a lot of those people are gonna die, and
Like
so I think it's
in the first 10 minutes, people are just gonna be start dropping
like
left and right.
there's too and a lot of them are redundant. Like Savant and Thinker are basically the same character. Bloodsport and Deadshot, or sorry, Deadshot's not in it. Bloodsport and Blackguard that Davidson playing are basically the same kind of character. Like, there's a lot of redundancy, and I'm like, one of those guys is probably going to go.
Yeah, but that's not new. Like Deadpool 2 saw X-Force wiped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be wiped out in the comedic way that
Well,
they were
but again,
in Deadpool 2.
But will it
not
be
brand
comedic
new to
because it
see
happens?
lots of them die.
It is, yeah. So, but yeah, like you know, it's all you can look at a lot of characters, and I'm like, a lot of those characters are cannon fodder.
Yep, but it does have John Cena.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good person to play the peacemaker role. So
He seems perfect.
but I think
actually.
he described him as a douchey Captain America, and I'm like, I think John Cena can pull that off.
Yep. Unlike The Rock, that's well fit.
Yeah. So I could see that. I could see that working. But yes, it's one that I'm like, I was really hoping for more of a, like, I wanted Bronze Tiger. I'm kind of really sad that Bronze Tiger is not in that film.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Like, I wanted more of a classic Suicide Squad. And I mean, well, because number one, I think a lot of those villains, as far as I know, have no connection to the Suicide Squad in the comics.
Oh, really? I'd never really read Suicide Squad, so I can't.
Yeah, I don't think
that.
Peacemaker was a member, Bloodsport, Savant, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, Mongal, Weasel, TDK. Like, a lot of these are people that they are disposable members of the DC universe. So,
Well, you should. Who goes first?
my money's on TDK.
I don't think I've ever heard of TDK.
I never have either, and he's played by Nathan Fillion, who people just like want to see. He's like got this, like, people like to see him in cameos. So I could see him
Right.
very easily as being in and done. I think Savant, because he's being played by Michael Rooker, who Gunn killed in Guardians, and has killed, I think, in every movie Rooker's been in with him. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Peacemaker and Rick Flag are basically the same character. Bloodsport and Blackguard are basically the same character. Like, there's a lot of Savant and Thinker are basically the same character. So
Well,
I'm
when the movie
expecting
gets
some of those
closer,
guys to go.
when the movie gets closer, we can do a competition. We'll make it a contest to predict the order in which people go.
Or we could do odds.
Well, I was avoiding odds for
I know.
fairly obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons. Yeah, in that I don't really understand them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So should we talk? I think the only thing we haven't really talked about are the video games.
That's not true. We haven't talked about the Snyder Cut.
Oh, the Snyder Cut. How could I forget the Snyder Cut? Oh my God.
I assume that was your main topic.
It kind of is. Well, that and the video games actually are the things I have the most notes on.
Well, I still want to talk about the Flash at some point, but we can talk about. Let's talk about. I don't care. Do you want to do the video games? Or you want to do the Snyder Cut?
I feel like we should do the video games before the Snyder Cut, because the Snyder Cut is so huge.
Let's do the video games and then the Flash and then the Snyder Cut.
Whee,
All right.
video games.
All right. So you're
So
excited
do you
about
want
Gotham
a
Knights?
little bit of? Well, do you want a little bit of background on the video games? Because there's important backstory.
Sure. Does it have numbers in it?
It does not.
Yeah.
My God.
Disappointing.
So yeah, so Rocksteady Studios did the first two Batman Arkham games, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Okay.
And then you have WB Games Montreal did Batman Arkham Origins, which was basically done because Rocksteady was too busy working on the fourth game to do the third. And Arkham Origins is fine, but it didn't quite capture the magic of the original 2 games. And so Gotham Knights is by Montreal, the ones that did kind of Arkham Origins, which was okay and not great.
Oh, that's
and
a
then
bummer.
the Suicide Squad is by Rocksteady.
Oh, boy.
The original ones.
Uh-oh.
So you've basically got 2 games in kind of the Arkham universe coming out, one by the original, which isn't coming out till 2022.
Yeah.
And then one by Montreal that you know, their game was fine, but it didn't really... And the irony is that the end of the Arkham Origins game actually teased a Suicide Squad game.
Well, they probably had to, because I'm sure both of them, you know, making different games, are still basically working for WB in that point.
Yeah, so... But yeah, well, I'm excited about both games, but I'm particularly excited about Gotham Knights.
And so we needed that background why, so that you could... Does it make you worried about Gotham Knights, that it's coming from Montreal?
I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. I mean, you know, it's... Yeah. Plus, I get to play as Nightwing, so that's awesome.
It would be like any game with Hawkeye. You're just naturally going to like it no matter what.
Yeah, I'd say there's a good chance of that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play as Nightwing in one of the other games for a little bit.
Yeah, but not for a lot.
So, but yeah, so I mean, I like the use of the Court of Owls.
Yeah. The court's gotten a lot of play lately, so...
It has, which is interesting considering that when they came out in the comics, a lot of people didn't really like the Court of Owls.
Yeah, I can understand that, I think.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Bruce Wayne is not actually dead in this game.
Why is that obvious?
Because I'm pretty sure... Well, because I'm pretty sure in the original comic, he faked his own death to kind of get off the Owl's radar.
Oh no, so he's going to come back and steal all the glory from Nightwing.
Yeah, so it's going to be like the first half of the game is going to be playing as Nightwing and Batgirl and Red Hood and Robin, and then at some point, you know, it's going to shift to like Batman confronting the Court of Owls.
It's nice to see Batgirl getting some time, though.
Yeah. Well, I think... Could you play as her in one of the games? I wonder if you could play as Batgirl in one of the games.
She and Nightwing both be in the Lego series, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think Red Hood is in the Lego series.
In Arkham City, you could play as Catwoman.
That's right. Yeah, you could play as Catwoman. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So, yeah, no, I'm you know... Again, largely just because, you know, I get to play as Nightwing, who's my favorite DC character.
Maybe we'll play together. It's an open world. I think we can play as co-op.
Yeah, I'm not really good at co-op because I suck at these games.
I don't see Alan being that much better.
Like it takes me twice as long to get stuff done as, like, you know, the teenagers that play it, so...
Oh, I haven't played a video game since, like, 1994.
That's not true. You played the PS4 Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, but not very long. Like, I mean, I swung around from building to building, but...
You still played it.
No, it's fair. But in any kind of serious way, I'm terrible at video games. But
I have the Spider-Man and I haven't played it yet. So it's a good thing these games aren't coming out for a little while.
Yeah. The Suicide Squad game looks very cinematic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rocksteady, I mean, all 3 of their Arkham games have been really, really good. Like, they do quality stuff. So I'm excited to see them on the Suicide Squad. And it seems like this is probably setting up a Justice League franchise for them as well.
Right.
Yeah, I'm actually more excited about this version of Suicide Squad than the movie version.
Wow. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah. There is one thing I am disappointed in this movie, though. Or in this game, though.
And that is?
Brainiac.
Well, why does this disappoint you?
I hate Brainiac. And every time there's a big, like, global villain that's taking out the Justice League, it's always Brainiac.
So, do you not like Brainiac, or like you not like the way he's usually used?
I don't like Brainiac, and I don't like how he's usually used.
Ah.
I don't find Brainiac that compelling a villain.
He's not very interesting, that's true, but he is the classic
Yeah.
sort of Justice League Super Friends kind of bad guy.
Yeah, see, he's more of a Superman bad guy in my mind. And, Justice League has other villains they could use.
I suppose that's true, like Starro.
So. Oh, come on, Starro would be great.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Or Jarro.
Hey, maybe we should move on to the Flash information real quick, so we can get to the pinnacle of the show before we're like at 2 hours. So
I do have one concern about the Suicide Squad game, though.
Yeah, please.
Well, because it's not coming out until 2022.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be released for the PS4, just for the PS5.
Oh, boy.
So I may have to get another game console.
Or two, right? Don't you usually buy two?
I have three.
But you buy two at a time.
I've got two PS3s and a PS4.
Oh, but don't you need one for upstairs and one for downstairs?
No. I just play the games downstairs. Because that's on the big TV.
Oh, that's fair. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. All right, so you wanted to talk about Flash?
Well, just real quickly. The Flash movie is going to give birth to a DC cinematic multiverse, apparently.
Oh, you meant the Flash movie. I thought you were talking about the TV show. Yeah, apparently Affleck's going to appear in it. And Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, really? I'm not particularly excited to see this kind of story told, as you might imagine.
What, you're not a fan of a Flashpoint story?
The whole multiverse, timeline, thanks. You know what sounds more fun is Are you still watching The Flash on CW?
Yes.
Well, what I read was that they're going to stick with being fun and topical.
Oh, they were topical?
To which I wrote in my notes, Lord Almighty, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I mean, they've been dealing with Mirror Master. That's not exactly topical. That's not a problem we're having.
Well,
extra-dimensional villains.
There was a small piece on Rotten Tomatoes about the new season.
Uh-huh.
Tell me what you make of this. Quote, "The sense of fun will continue into Joe West's story, which will reflect the current atmosphere and touch on topics of police brutality and the uneasy race relations between law enforcement and the black community." And
see, now that makes sense. Because when I think police brutality, I think that's a storyline where you can have some fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it goes on. And though the story will be fun, Wallace said, you'll definitely see some changes regarding Joe's status quo. But explain to me this sentence. The fun will continue with topics of police brutality and uneasy race relations.
Yeah, I gotta say, that is a sentence that does not make any sense to me.
You'd think somebody at DC would be like, maybe we alter that press release.
It's the most Flash thing ever, though. I mean, I will give them that.
Yeah, well, look at it this way. It will definitely give us something to talk about on the podcast.
That's true, but I don't watch The Flash anymore.
I know. Well, look at it this way. It is going to give us probably some really good material for the second Flash quiz.
Oh, I should have kept that for myself so Rich wouldn't know that was coming.
Yeah, I bet you that'll be some good stuff.
I wasn't really listening.
That makes sense.
I imagine there will be many a question about the topical aspects of Flash.
I can't wait. I can't.
Oh my God! Yeah, that is not something they should be delving into.
Nope, I agree.
Ever.
So as we get to near the end of the show, it's time to talk about the Snyder Cut, right?
Oh yeah.
I'll let you go first. You seem super enthusiastic.
I hate to admit it, but I am kind of excited for the Snyder Cut.
Why?
It made me more excited than I thought I would to watch the trailer.
Yeah. Why for you?
Well, it's from the very beginning when that ham-fisted use of Hallelujah in the background.
There's nothing. Really? It was in the background? Because I thought that was foregrounded.
Well, you know what I mean. The music.
Yeah, nothing could be more Zack Snyder than him using that song.
That's exactly what my notes say. There's something about the ham-fisted use of music and the visual look that it like not unlike Watchmen in a way. There's just like there's
you mean the
something.
Original, you mean the movie he did, right?
Right. Yeah, the Snyder Watchmen. It had with the music in the visual aesthetic, it just harkened back. And I actually like that movie more than I think a lot of people do. And there is something about like a Zack Snyder movie that I can enjoy sometimes. So maybe if they unleashed full Snyder, it'll be better than what it was.
Well, this is my concern. Well, number one, you're right. I mean, because at this point, as we've said before on the show, I think we talked about it when we were talking about Snyder being kind of the guiding hand of the DC movie universe. At this point, you have to know what you're going to get in a Snyder film.
Right.
There's going to be stuff that is really, really good.
Yep.
And there's going to be stuff that is really, really stupid.
Yep.
And the music choices are going to be way too on the nose.
Yep. It's all true.
And I'm concerned that with 4 hours...
4 hours.
4 hour-long installments.
Yeah, well, because this is what surprised me, because, I mean, originally he always said Justice League was going to be a 2-part film. Like, it was going to be Justice League Part 1 and Justice League Part 2. When they kept saying, you know, we're going to get the Snyder Cut, I just assumed it was Part 1. Like, we were never going to get Part 2.
Yeah.
But now it seems like we're getting Parts 1 and 2. Like, we are going to get the Zack
4.
Snyder Justice League.
The only thing...
We're getting the full 2 movies.
The only thing that would be better is if Michael Bay made a Justice League movie.
I'm concerned that I'm just concerned that the Justice League Snyder Cut is where the differences between Snyder and Bay start to erase themselves.
You can watch that trailer and feel it happening.
Well, considering that he has a trailer that is basically singing hallelujah to him making this film.
Yep.
And I feel like we're getting into Bay areas of ego.
Well, and sort of meta commentary in this really weird kind of way. Yeah. I think it's going to be beautiful, but I don't have HBO, so I don't know how I'm going to see it.
It's HBO Max.
I don't have that either.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Well, you can sign up for, what you can do is you can sign up for sign up for it, get the free month-long trial, watch it during the free month, and then cancel it.
I'm thinking maybe what I don't know when it comes. Like, I need to do the same thing for Lovecraft Country.
2020. Oh, Lovecraft Country is so good. I'm watching that right now.
And the Boys, right?
Wait, yeah, Boys just started.
Yeah, but where can I watch The Boys?
That's Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, I can watch that. But I'm kind of holding off on that because I was going to watch it with Bobby when he came home.
Well, keep in mind that they're also... It's not like last time where they released the whole season. They did the first 3 episodes the first week, and then it's been 1 episode since. So there's only 5 episodes right now.
All right, well, at some point I'll binge it and we can do a podcast on it.
Oh, yeah, I assumed we were doing a podcast on Boys.
Although it was not great the first time through, but I feel like we do have to do a second.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that jumped out to me of the Snyder Cut is that, of the trailer, with the exception of one, I think, between like a couple shots in it, like there's nothing that was in the Justice League film.
Well, but maybe that's just their way of trying to tell you. Like, to lure you in that it's something new.
I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering, like, one of the things I'm going to be interested in is, like, how much of, like, a hatchet job will we be able to see Whedon's Justice League made from this original film?
It's a question. I don't know.
Like it just like it's gonna be that's gonna be one of the interesting things for me of watching it. Is gonna be like just seeing like what did Whedon take and repurpose for his movie? Because I mean it looks like a completely different movie.
That would be more interesting to me if I actually remembered a lot about the first movie, which I found to be a pretty forgettable movie. But like it's interesting that you're getting a director's cut on a film. Usually, like a film has one director, and so you get the director's cut, and you're getting an extended idea, like an extended look at their vision for the film. This is something very different. Like in that way, it sounds like potentially kind of interesting to watch 2 guys wrestle with and argue about that material.
Yeah, well, and then there's one other question to answer,
which is
better, Justice League Irish or Flash TV show Irish?
Again, I don't see how the movie version could be in any way worse than the TV version. Like the floor's too low on that.
Then remember, there's always something that Snyder does that's unexpectedly bad.
It's true, but Iris is so awful. Like, how could it be worse?
It can always get
I don't know.
worse.
I don't know. So,
I don't think so. I
but yeah,
don't
I
think
do
in
have to
this
say
case.
that I watched that trailer and I did not want to be excited for the Snyder Cut,
Yep.
but I'm actually kind of excited for the Snyder Cut.
I felt a stirring when I watched it too. I think there's just something about Snyder and his aesthetic that will always make
Yeah,
me it'll always make me say, well, maybe I want to go take a look at that.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm intrigued. I mean, I already have the HBO Max, so
Right. Of course you do.
um, I can watch that. But yeah, I am. I mean, again, not I'm I think it's gonna be. It may be the most Zack Snydery film that Zack Snyder has ever Zack Snydered.
That seems in and of itself worth watching.
Yeah,
It again, he and Michael Bay are walking in the same shoes and they're walking down the same path.
they are. Yes,
And I don't think that's a
they are.
bad thing. I
Yes.
know
Not,
you think differently, but
well, I like to think that Snyder is slightly better than Bay, but I worry that this is the film that is going to drive home that Snyder is no better than Bay.
boy, that would be a terrible realization for you.
It would be. It would be. Well, it would be terrible for me, and equal and even more terrible because it would, of course, be great for you.
Well, but then maybe you'll realize the greatness of Michael Bay. It might bring you to my
No,
position.
it will not. It will
If
not.
this
It would
is
because
if
I
this
just
is
I cannot recognize any greatness in Michael Bay. He has gotten progressively worse with every. His best movie was The Rock, which was his first movie.
I'm just going to say that you need to stop and think about it for a minute because you're going to
No,
have to embrace them both or disavow them both.
no. I believe I will be able to find some kind of nuance in Zack Snyder that will preserve.
Did you just use nuance and Snyder in the same sentence?
I did, but only in comparison to Bay.
I don't think you can use it in the same sentence in comparison to anything, frankly.
I'm hoping. Snyder can
I
make good
know,
movies.
I
Sucker
know you're.
Punch, which I still haven't ever watched, but Sucker Punch is good.
I love Sucker Punch. Zack Snyder makes
See?
movies I like. I just don't think he makes good movies. Does that make sense?
Uh, I think he makes better movies than Bay.
I don't think he makes good movies, but I like them.
I didn't say good. I said better than Bay.
But when the bar is so low, is that an accomplishment?
For me, yes, because I just can't. Michael Bay just drives me nuts.
The bar's
I
not
don't
low,
think
the
so.
bar is high. Michael Bay might be the best filmmaker working today.
No, that is ridiculous. That is just, yeah. First off, is he even doing anything these days?
Oh, I'm sure he's doing something, blowing up something somewhere.
I would love to see him given a Marvel franchise. What he would do with
Oh
it would be
God, no.
spectacular.
Oh God, that would be the end
Like Michael Bay
of the
doing West
MCU.
Coast Avengers.
Oh Jesus, why would? Okay, now you're just being mean. You know what? There is a franchise ripe for the remaking.
Okay.
I give you Michael Bay's X-Men.
Oh, I would be
Man.
in. I would be in for that.
Well, I know you would.
I'd actually be kind of interesting, just be interested in that, just to see like what horrible direction he goes in.
I think he could possibly make a worse movie than Wolverine Origins.
But not worse than Suicide Squad.
I think Oh no, there's a lot of Michael Bay in that Suicide Squad. There's a lot of
You
Zack
just
Snyder in that Suicide. The Suicide Squad movie is like the child of Zack Snyder and Michael Bay. It's
in a
got
way,
all of the awful music choices of Zack Snyder.
yeah, it's got some bad chases.
Yeah.
No, I can see that argument, but you're going to watch the new Snyder Cut and you're going to say, I was wrong. Michael Bay is a genius and he is a muse.
Nope. Nope. I'm not going to say that. I
You're
can
gonna,
guarantee you.
you know why? You're going to
I
think it,
don't
but you
think
won't
that's gonna
say it
happen.
because you want to save your dignity.
Not going to think it. Nope. Zack Snyder is going to save me from that fate.
I like
Yeah,
how
good.
you imply that if he says it, he is losing his dignity by saying that.
Right. Right. So you think the man that brought us Martha is going to rise above it?
Yes, because I believe, unlike Michael Bay, Zack Snyder can learn from his mistakes.
Well,
No.
I just overheard Vicky in the kitchen saying that she really likes Transformers films. So there's Michael Bay,
Come on.
genius. He just has a genius.
Oh, God. I can't stand Michael Bay films. Except The Rock. The Rock is
Right.
really good.
Bay and Wahlberg together? Like, what more could you want in a movie?
Okay, Wahlberg's not in The Rock.
No, he's in Transformers.
Yeah, no. Yeah, your weird sort of like obsession with Michael Bay and with Wahlberg is
I'm not obsessed with Michael Bay, but the guy makes brilliant movies. And Wahlberg is
no, he does not.
he's just a charismatic star.
Well, that seems like a good place to wrap up this episode.
We really have, I think, reached rock bottom at this point.
Yes.
So, I don't know how to wrap it up, though.
I don't know. I think when we reach rock bottom might be the place to cut it.